Hello, I'm Eddwardg. I'm gonna be playing Half-Life today, and I have Cutie on the commentary. And yeah, let's get it started. Cutie?
Alright, so we agreed that I'm going to do most of the commentary so Eddwardg can concentrate on the run. And I will count down and we start. 3, 2, 1, go. So, good luck. So we've done this actually several times. We were just talking about it before the stream started, that we have been doing a lot of commentary for Half-Life runs in the past. And here we are again at the Hekathon. Thanks very much for having us. We're going to present to you today one Scriptless, the main category. Eddwardg has presented other runs like this before, like Jumpless in the Sorcerer's Marathon. And I think we have some interconnections with the Hackathon there, some of the people that are organizing this. So yeah, it's nice to be here. So I'm sure a lot of the people that are watching the stream right now have watched Half-Life commentary before. And we are going to try and cover some of the basics, of course, but also we're gonna try and make this a little, like, I don't know, it's always difficult to cover all of the tricks. So we're gonna try our very best to do that, to get into some of the basics and explain a little bit about the major tricks. So this first thing that Eddwardg, for example, did there when he was pushing the scientist towards the door is a so-called NPC abuse, and this is one of the major speed tags in the game. You can push scientists or scare them with grenades. They run away from them to not take damage, and they run towards doors if you place the grenades correctly. And Eddwardg is pretty much doing the same thing here, saving like 2 seconds by aligning the scientists in front of the retinal scanners. So they don't have to walk there at the end of their cutscene anymore. They already did.
Yeah, and also turning them around so we save like 0.1.
And Eddwardg has reduced his FPS. Normally, the game is running at 100 FPS. That is the max limit. The higher the FPS, the more speed you gain from strafing midair. That's the movement tech we use for gaining speed in this game. Bunny hopping, which is strafing midair and also on the ground. And the higher the FPS is, the more speed you gain. But here he reduced it to 20 so that the scientist turned more quickly. This is also something that is done routinely for NPC abuses, but also for edge bugs. Edge bugs we're going to see later in Blast Pit.
Frame perfect.
Frame perfect button press, very
Yes.
important.
You reset if you don't get it.
So in the beginning of the game, there is not that much to do, even though, you know, in every speedrun, if you have watched speedruns or done speedruns yourself, you pretty much know that there are like benchmark tests for you in the community, and you compare them with each other. You say like, I've been at the button at like 2 minutes, 40 seconds or something, or have completed the first chapter. So we already have loads of these benchmarks here in this first chapter. But really, the run really starts in the second chapter, which is called Unforeseen Consequences. Here we have a large cutscene. This is where we are right now, so Eddwardg does not really have anything to do. We're waiting for a card that is going to come up in this cage. And with this card, which is a movable object, Eddwardg is going to perform an object boost up on the side of this ramp, of this machine in the middle of the room, which acts like a ramp. He's going to ramp up, fly into the air, hit a change level trigger, and skip like 2 minutes, get into the next chapter.
Shoutouts to Supaya for giving me the idea to get that bind. This is very useful.
Play G, play it now.
Yep.
This is a frame perfect trick. But I see from the UPS, you see that in the middle of the screen, that's the speed he has. You can judge if you set it up correctly, and Eddwardg has set it up correctly. Because you get different numbers. You get very specific numbers if you do it right, even though you don't hit it frame perfectly. So you can tell if you need to reset, for example, or realign. So this is unforeseen consequences now. And this is the first weapon, the crowbar, which he has just picked up, but it is not used that much. This is still like an obstacle course. And we're gonna see more action with weapons and yeah, more of the like damage boosting, but also NPC scares with grenades in the chapter afterwards, Office Complex. It's getting more complex overall of the game. Especially in the second half of the game, we're going to have some weapons that give us more opportunity to boost, like the Gauss gun. So the current world record in this game is 26:48. And you know, in every game you speculate about, how much further can we go? We were talking about this earlier in the preparation, and it's probably possible to go 26.3 something, 26.35. But we have optimized the game so much in this community, and there is not really much to find anymore. For example, Eddwardg has scared the NPC the NPC here to open the door, and he switched off the light, also the electricity. And there's another trick that is called the electricity skip, and like the top 10 runners use it, top 20 even. But you should only really use it if you're very consistent at all of the rest of the chapter, because you need to keep your HP. Like taking damage from the head crabs like Eddwardg just did would just ruin the time save completely, because it's not that much. And this is what we have to do in this run all the time now to even keep up. If we're gonna go for world record, that is. Or the higher times. So taking great risks, you have to be extremely consistent to even get the time saves. This is another NPC abuse, as I said. You throw the grenade, and Barney opens the door for us. And we are coming up to the end of the chapter. And we're gonna have a short intermission. We've got hostiles. Usually would take like 3 minutes if you played very fast. We're skipping all of that, again with an NPC abuse. Nice, you did it. You did it.
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah, when you're reaching the corner there, you already hit the trigger inside. Well, it would take some time to explain this now. If you are really interested in the tricks, we have done a lot of tutorials, even in different languages, like English, of course, Spanish, Turkish. So if you're interested in these kind of tricks, I recommend you have a look at the tutorials we did, and there you find some detailed explanations. All right, Ed? Nice. First try.
Yeah,
Heavy boost as well, 6 HP. My god, man.
it's calculated, don't worry.
Call calculated, of course. So we are currently in the chapter Blast Pit. This is like one of the 3 hardest chapters in the game. Blast Pit, on a rail, and surface tension. And this upcoming chain after this elevator ride is one of the hardest in the game for newcomers. They really struggle to get this done. Because you need to maintain your speed, and you do that in Scriptless with scrolling the mouse wheel, and that takes some consistency in scrolling as well. Eddwardg does a good job here. Even edged off the roof. There was an edge bug. He didn't take any damage there.
Oops.
And an edge bug is basically being on and off an edge on the same frame. And you achieve that by reducing the FPS again to 20, some even to 15. He's going to do it again here. From the top, he's going to slide down onto the button. Yeah, first try. Very nice. I'm a little bit delayed, you will notice this, but I'm doing my best to keep up.
You're doing good.
All right, we maybe have a little bit of time for donations.
Sure, we actually got some. So I was informed by the chat and by the donators that it's actually Play AG, the emote in chat. So first off, we have Swoopay with $4 saying good luck on the run, Ed. Can I get some
Hey.
Play AG in chat?
There
And
we
then Naz, Naz with $5 with oh my god, man. And another 20 from Naz with oh my god, man, in all caps. Amazing runner, excellent commenter.
Oh my god, thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, we're almost through with Blast Pit. When you play this game the first time casually, this is like an eerie chapter. But in speedruns, it's really just hard. It's very atmospheric too, but
It's eerie to speak. Oh!
a lot of
Yeah.
runs die in Blast Pit.
Turning to mush in 1 millisecond.
So when we're done with this chapter, we're gonna go through Power Up, which is also a chapter, but it's really just an intermission. In the Scriptless run, we take like 12 seconds to get through it. This is another interesting trick Eddwardg is doing here. It's a water boost. So there's a stream underwater, and if you're touching the trigger, but not touching it, that in rapid succession, you're picking up a lot of speed. That's why he was sharking there. He was like surfing through the water very quickly. Power up.
Yep.
Just sliding up the barrier and finishing the chapter.
Just gotta get the right angle. Right timing, I mean.
So when we're talking about frame perfect tricks in this game, and we have some of them, then that means you need to do some of the things on a 100 FPS basis. But for example, jump bugs, where you don't take any damage at all, and Eddwardg did one of them in the beginning. I didn't explain that, but you can look that up as well. There are tutorials by Maxim about jump bugs on YouTube. We reduce FPS there. Ooh, heartbeat moment there. But there is a health recharger. So this is probably... It's really hard to tell which one is the hardest of the chapters of these three that I mentioned, but we are on a rail right now. And as you can see, this is basically like a racetrack. Like here, Eddwardg was able to maintain all of his speed through most of the section after the object boost, forward object boost as well. It's really not easy. Needs some time to get used to. Some people say it's easier than a sideward object boost. But when he is going through this, yeah?
It's pretty easy, yeah. I get it
well,
pretty consistently.
that's a nice section here Eddwardg just did. He now these aliens, they shoot you with electricity, but they need to charge up. When you save during their charge up animation and you load right away the save, then the charge up animation is interrupted. They need to start again. And that's how you got through there. It was very fluent, but this is one of the harder pieces of the chapter where you lose a lot of time. And there are harder setups even where you do a grenade jump and get through this chapter in this section with like 1000, 1100 speed. And then you get stuck everywhere. It's very precise. This is why you lose so much time in this chapter. Getting through the chapter itself is maybe not that difficult. But doing it fast is very much difficult. It's pretty crazy considering the times that we have in the world record. For example, I'm not sure, but finishing on a rail, I think it was 12:48. I'm not entirely sure. Finishing on a rail at under 13 minutes, it's just crazy. I know when I'm telling these numbers, often people tell me, yeah, we don't know the run, how can we estimate? But I'm just telling you, when we are, these are some benchmarks, so it's like some internal information, like we communicate in these terms about the speedrun. Even getting sub 14 minutes in this chapter is very good already. But the optimization level is incredible.
Oh.
So what Eddwardg did here with the handgun was timing. He was shooting, and every shot takes 0.3 seconds. So that way he can time very precisely when he needs to press the button, because it is time-based, when you can actually press it to get to the next section. So he has just finished on a rail. And we're now in apprehension. There's like a really nice bunny hopping chain. If you want to get into the run and you're trying to practice bunny hopping, do what Eddwardg does here. This bunny hopping section.
Kind of scuffed, but works.
Nice. You saw there was a tongue from a barnacle reaching down into the water. If you're too slow and you don't make it over the edge, over this little gap, and you need to take this barnacle of shame, as we call it. It loses you 3 seconds. Another NPC abuse, this time with an alien. Alien opened the door. Alright, we have some more time for donations. Do we have some?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Oh, never mind actually. Just one here. Spear sent $10
Ooh.
with a comment. Ed, I hope you can control it in Half-Life as well.
Thank you, Sphere.
Control it in quotation marks.
I can definitely control it. Thanks to Prasco. Shout out to Prasco,
Oh,
the legend.
shout out to Prasco.
The legend.
Those are his golden words that I will never forget in my life. Very wise.
So Eddwardg has used the health charger through in the dark there. He was able to still use it. And he didn't really pick up all the health he could get, because he wants to have a specific amount of health to perform another trick in questionable ethics. That is the chapter coming after the chapter that's coming now. We're still in apprehension, but we're going to go into residue processing now. We have been stripped of all our weapons, and it's basically an obstacle course, but more demanding now than unforeseen consequences. And after that, we have questionable ethics, and there will be an NPC abuse. I'll explain that later. In residue processing, again, because you don't have any boosts, you don't really use weapons, at least not that much, can really show there is some, like this vent bee hopping here. You do that several times, you can lose so much time with it, but you can also be very fast at it.
Oh.
If you're doing it correctly. So it's really fun, in my opinion. Really fun. When you want to get down the basics. A lot of it has to do with timing. Also with NPCs when they are in your way. And here it is the same. There are some pieces in this chapter where you can only gain time if you do it all in a very precise timing. You can be a little bit too fast. Usually you're a little bit too slow. This is coming up in a moment.
Shout out to Nas.
This is the Nas skip. Where's the Nas skip? At Eddwardg just there, jumping over the fence.
That was so fast.
Yes, Eddwardg just showed exactly what I wanted to say. These 6 obstacles, moving obstacles there, he just took them in the fastest possible way.
Very good RP.
Very good RP. And now we are in questionable ethics. So now I want to explain this with the NPC. It's a little bit complicated, but it's basically also a little bit easy. There is an NPC, and you're going to come towards him. You're going to speak to him by pressing use on him, and he's going to follow you. You need him to follow you because he needs to open a door in the end. It's quite a large section that you need to go with him. And to make sure that he always follows you, if you're having 50 HP or less, he wants to heal you. And because he wants to heal you, there is some override in his protocol. He's not getting scared anymore. And that's why he's just running past everything very quickly. And that's why Eddwardg needed to not have too many HP. And as you can see, he has 36 right now. And that's a good amount.
Perfect dupe.
Duping in this game, what Eddwardg just did with the MG here, is that you are saving during the death animation of the soldier. The gun is falling down, and then you're loading, and then you're saving again while the gun is again falling down. And you do that so many times, as much ammunition as you need. So now he has 10 SMG grenades, and with them you can do boosts.
The scientist stopped a bit early, but it's fine. I had to get him from a bit further back than usual.
Yeah. Usually he would, if you're timing this correctly, he would be a little bit further. When you're going up the stairs and coming back down, he would stand there. Just collect them, take them with you.
We've got one donation if that's good at this moment.
Yeah.
Okay, it's because it's time sensitive. So, Nudie sent $5 saying, Ed, I'll donate $5 more if you refrain from doing OOB on surface tension. I hope I managed to read it quickly enough.
Yeah.
That's...
Yes.
So 5 more coming if you refrain from doing OOB.
He's gonna to cult a pipe.
Yeah, if
What
I
do
have
you
the
mean
right
OOB?
stats. Out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, but you're gonna do OOB in surface tension anyway. To be honest, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure he means the cult to pipe trick. This trick is gonna come up now. When Eddwardg is gonna go into this pipe, when he comes out again, he's gonna be at a cliffside. He needs to traverse the cliffside on the outer side with a large jump.
There you go. Easy $5.
Nice. First try.
Oh!
Did
Yeah,
you get stuck?
The collision
Yeah.
there is a bit scuffed. Instead of a transition, the collision changes, and if you're in that place, you get stuck.
Yeah. But as you can see here, Eddwardg has several times now used the so-called Gauss gun, Gauss cannon, and when you charge it up with secondary attack, you can get pushbacks, and these are used for boosts. Good thing about those is you don't take any damage, unlike damage from grenades. Might it be hand grenades or SMG grenades?
I'm fine. That was scary.
Yeah, this is a hard section as well. You can chain this, get through all of the lasers, and get right into this place with the elevator. So this is a hard section coming up. I'm just gonna say it's called IHD, the Infinite Health Door. And it is usually a run kill. A lot of people lose a lot of time there. So let's see how this goes. Good luck.
Thanks. Didn't quite get the maximum version, but we can still do the normal one. Totally fine. There we go. 1, 2,
1, 2,
3,
Very nice.
4.
So what happens here is that Eddwardg is scaring the NPC to open the door, and when the door is opening, Eddwardg is getting stuck in it. Because it deals -1 damage, he's getting 1 health point every tick, which is 100 per second. He's charging up like 2,500 to 3,000 health, which is about 10 cycles of these 255 rounds. You saw it switched back to 0. We call that, what do we actually call that? Cycles.
Yeah.
And now he can do lots of damage boosts. It's all calculated. He doesn't need to worry about that anymore. Including enemy damage.
Oof. That was close.
But to be honest, because you're having more boosts, that also means you need to do things that are much faster paced. So the game is getting more difficult now. In a way. Because you need to do a lot of precise boosting. But yeah, Eddwardg has managed to get through surface tension quite fluently, and IHD was pretty much the end of surface tension. And as I said, this was one of the 3 hardest chapters in my personal opinion. And we are right now in Forget About Freeman. It's like a short intermediate chapter with a lot of boosts and
Oh
its
my
own
God.
difficulties.
That's like frame perfect. What? Damn.
What happened?
The doors reversed and I got transitioned back to the previous level. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it, guys. It's just a frame perfect trick that I totally intended to do to show off the game mechanics. And that's... yeah. It's fine.
That's an interesting thing Eddwardg just did there. He did it several times now. He's going to do it a little bit more. He was charging up secondary attack of the Gauss gun and then shooting at a thick wall and getting self-damage. And this damage propelled him upwards.
Oh no.
So this is another kind of boost he can do. As you see, there is a lot of speed tech in this game. It's a very complex game, very sophisticated chaining. Yeah, it's a great game. A lot of people get hooked. When they start to run the game, they want to get really good. They are in a rush. They play it all the time. It's incredible. Alright, so we are in Lambda Core. This is like the latter part of the game, last quarter, I would say. And we're about to enter the alien world. Now you might remember
Don't
when you
spoil,
played
man.
this game.
It's only been 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, yeah. Sorry. So yeah, you might remember when you have played this game casually that you needed to activate several generators to get the water up and then to rise up, but Eddwardg just did a double grenade boost there. It's a precise boost, so that's why
Don't crash.
he
Thanks.
that's why he had to repeat it. It's again a little bit precise. And now he's going to skip all of this sequence here with the aliens. Just get right into the teleporter. So Zen usually takes like 30 seconds. Very short chapter.
I just remembered. Oh no.
What?
Oh no. I'm sorry
What's
for
up?
for what's about to happen. Whoops.
So I'm a little bit behind. I'm lagging a little bit behind here, but we are right now in Gonorrhoea's lair, and this is pretty much an auto-scroller. So you can speed up the movement of this thing a little bit in the beginning. And we found a trick with which you can save like 4.5 seconds, 4.7 at max. And it is again a frame perfect save load. Can you imagine? You save and then you load the game again, and because you do that, for some reason it breaks the pathway of the thing, and it starts to move earlier. This is truly incredible to me still, really, that you're safe loading frame perfectly and you influence the game so that you save almost 5 seconds. That's a world of difference. So yeah, and after this chapter we're gonna have interloper. So if you have come this far and you are in the greens, interloper is pretty much the last thing that can break your run. So everybody's praying when they get here that they get through interloper fluently, because as I said, you do a lot of boosts, and this is especially true for this chapter. And we are nearing the end of the run. This is like the last chapter. The last chapter is called Nehelen. It's basically the boss fight. But when you have done this a few times, there is like a setup. You do it in 20 seconds, 25. World record is 19 seconds, I believe, for the complete boss fight, which is quite convenient because it takes away RNG. Double grenade boost here.
Oh! Okay. Oh no! Okay, this is really bad. This is gonna be the world record for the longest, for the best Nihilants you'll ever see without fast runs.
Alright, I
He's
take
all the
back what
way.
I said.
Scheiße. Oh no.
This is not the fast setup.
Let me see.
So this happens. You need to be quick in the beginning to shoot the crystal before he can start to recharge.
There we go. 31:57.
GG.
GG. Oh god. Awesome. 31, that's what I wanted. That's what I got.
Yeah, GG. We also Muty came through with the $5 donation, saying, "Oh my God, man, QD."
Thank you, man. I want to shout out the Sursons community, of course. One of the best communities out there. Join the Surson Discord if you want. Yeah, we do Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 stuff. And mods. And shoutouts to Cutie for doing the commentary for me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Shoutouts, yeah, to everyone watching, and it was a pleasure. Thank you, Hekathon, for having me, and Sajiki.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being here.